Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite community staff member on CGL over here. Shameless plug, Vert. I'm joined by the lovely Coach Tool from Death Blossoms and Cloud Lemon from Solar Eclipse as well. And we are back with another kind of a playoff preview like we did with the midseason. That's what we're going to be doing today. First and foremost, Coach Tool, how you doing today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, a little bit upset about last night's game, but not the end of the world. Made playoffs, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I was about to say that game last night because we did a little community stream for it. If you haven't watched it yet, NA Prod, go watch it anyway. That was one of the most entertaining games. I was sitting there and I was like, "There's no way Death Blossoms lets this be a 3-0, right?" And then Nax looked like a brand new man on that Junker Queen. And then as soon as you were subbed in, I was like, "They're going Wrecking Ball and he's gonna roll." It's like,
I don't play Wrecking Ball. What are you talking about?
no, Coach Tool does not play Wrecking Ball, guys. But anyway, Cloud, how you doing? Oh, I just posted
Great,
the link.
I'm great. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great 8 weeks we've been playing? Or
Yes.
Yeah, 8 weeks plus
Technically
midseason. Yeah, episode 9 technically. It's been a long season and we're finally here. Happy to be here.
Finally. Yes. Very fun. Very fun. Speaking of the end of season, I want to talk about some of the kind of the late drama controversy going on with some of these late roster swaps. Like there was a lot of hot topic in Diamond Chat talking about how like Pickle was picked up by Lunar. He was on Diamond Eagles like as soon as their season finished. But there's been a lot of roster changes in the final few weeks. Like Carr used to be a main support player for Lunar, is going to Abyssal. Strider and Pickle have been picked up for Lunar today. I want to focus on the Carr one first because we haven't actually technically seen her play yet for Abyssal. I think she's supposed to make her debut tonight versus Cuddle Puddle, a game that has a good amount of playoff implications in terms of seeding. What do you guys think? Like, I didn't really think Abyssal needed a main support player, but looking at it, does it add? Does it take away? Is it kind of the same? What do y'all think?
That was going to be my question. What is Abyssal's weakest part of their team in your opinion? Is it the main support role, or what are they missing to be a top 4 team?
So
what do you think?
I guess like my opinion on it is like with them struggling consistently with the top 4 consistently, I guess we'll see tonight if it really does make an adjustment. It also might be too early to tell. Like, because getting practice time in with people is very big, and you can't just like stick somebody in and just immediately have it work. Now, there's the saying in Pro COD where it's the honeymoon period. So maybe the honeymoon period kicks in a little bit here, and they can pull a map or two.
Yeah.
But I think it does help overall. I think Carr's a solid support player. I mean, was part of the top 4 team for a little while, so I don't think it hurts.
I am actually a heavy supporter of the honeymoon period, and I think every team, if they want to be, most teams need kind of a refreshing feeling, especially after 9 weeks of regular season CGL, and a new player is one way of getting there, and a lot of teams do it. And
I think that's a fair point. Yeah, and you can make the same case for like the Lunar pickups, but like in terms of Abyssal, I feel like a lot of their struggles, because they've lost to a lot of the top 4 teams. I don't think it necessarily has to do with like individual matchups. I think their tanks are really good. I think their support line before Carr was already really good. Like Motiva, very good flex support. You can make an argument that their DPS aren't the greatest, and if you look at like purely basic analytics, I feel like what's really separated them between like being the 5 seed and like making that push up into the top 4 has really just come down to like team play, strategies. Because like, let's be honest, if we look at it, I know sometimes you play Coach Tool, but like you are known as Coach Tool. I feel like every top 4 team has either been a team for like 8 to 9 months or has like a coach where they spend a lot of time like dedicated to coming up with strategies. Like we were talking about it on stream last night, that bunker comp on Blizzard World, as crazy as it looked, was very strategical and was very much practiced, like in terms of the placements and stuff. And so I don't feel like maybe the honeymoon phase will help. And I know Carr is a very good player, really, really good comms, very positive person. So maybe that'll help, kind of give them the push to punch up a little bit. But I feel like when it comes to Abyssal, what separates them between them and the top four just comes down to like general team play, I feel like.
I agree.
So
Yeah, I
no.
definitely agree. I think, my opinion, the only thing that they've been missing for most of the season is their tempo, and just keeping up with these top four teams' tempo that they set. They need to be the ones setting it, and that's one of the most difficult things. And it's like you said, it's a huge part of teamwork. So I think Carr is a really great pickup, and we'll see if she can help with that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Any
that.
final thoughts from you, Coach Tool?
No, I mean, I think you guys kind of put it perfectly.
Word. Well, let's shift gears and talk about like Strider and Pickle. So, for those of you who don't know Strider, I know Cloud and I are very familiar with him. He was a flex DPS, hit scan DPS for Oops All Vibes when they made their Cinderella run last season. And something even Rev said during the finals game when we beat them was like, I wish Strider had played Sojourn more because he was low key like hitting shots here and there. He was winning duels. Now, not enough to necessarily change how dominant we were during that finals game, but still a very decent player. But something I want to hone in more is one of the best DPS players and one of like the most, I guess, shining pieces of Lunar's rosters was Ayers. And Strider is essentially coming in to replace Ayers because Ayers isn't able to play the remainder of the season, essentially. And so that's why Strider's joining Lunar, essentially. Zach and Reese had an agreement, I guess, to kind of send him off just for the playoff run because they're in need of a hit scan. So, knowing that Strider's essentially, because roster lock is tonight at 11:59 p.m. So this is literally like last minute, no scrim time or anything, and playoff start last week. Knowing this, how do we feel about it? Like, do we feel like Strider can hold a candle to what Ayers did? And does this make Lunar better, worse? Like, where do we see them in that?
It's going to be really difficult because, and I'm just going to be really quick, and then you can take over, Tool. But they haven't had much time with Strider, and therefore it's not going to be the same as with Eris. But I think Strider does have great mechanics.
All I have to say is I was not prepared for all the new peeps, and that showed yesterday. So that's all I have to say about it. I think they might be better with their new pickups, or I know they'll be better with their new pickups because I feel like it made them much more flexible. They felt very flexible, whereas before, and this is like no shade, I felt like they were very like you could pinpoint what they were gonna play before.
Yeah,
almost.
I completely.
So
agree.
I feel like they're pretty flexible, and I didn't really have good ban strategies for their new flexibility. I had ban. I'll wrap myself out of here a little bit. I had very set ban strategies for the match, and then I saw all the new people, and that all went out the window very quickly. I did my job as a coach, and then it got clowned on because I did too good of a job. So I was too well prepared.
I thought y'all's ban on we were talking about it on stream on Ranasapi was incredible because we saw the Orisa ban come out and we are like, they've never played Orisa once, like what is this? And then Nax comes out and destroys on the Queen and we're like, oh, this Orisa ban makes a lot more sense. So I still feel like you guys had a lot of decent bans, but
yeah, I defaulted to the banning what tank does my tank not want to play against is what I defaulted to.
Yeah.
So
I would have done the same.
But Pickle to Lunar, Cloud, you and I recently just played against Pickle. He's a flex DPS / tank player, and so now looking at Lunar's main roster, they've got Alex at tank, Pickle at tank. Essentially, there is Perf. Perf is a sub of a sub, I suppose, from what I've heard. And then DPS wise, they've got Strider, Nadius, Corgi, and then support lineup is and I guess Pickle too. And then the support line is always going to be Reese and Leo. We know those two very well, very good players. But Pickle being so flexible, do you see a need to have really 4 DPS there? And how do you feel like he's going to mesh into the roster?
Okay. Well, I just want to say in our game, I'm not sure if anyone went through our VOD codes, but this Pickle guy, dude, He got 5 boops on us the last map. 5 boops on
that's
one map
true.
off the map. He booped Vert 3 times and me twice off the map.
Oh, I watched
It was
Bert get
so
pooped a lot.
tilting, this guy. He hard carried them that map. It was so tilting. This guy is a legend. And, you know, I think I am familiar with what Pickle plays and what Strider plays. So I think that'll be a little slight advantage towards, because I think most teams aren't familiar with Strider. Besides, you know, he played tank a little bit and a little bit of DPS. But, you know, we played all season with them. We were scrim partners with Oops All Vibes when they had Strider. So
Yeah.
and then now Pickle going to a top team. I think it's a big pickup. I don't know if he will play, just like you said. There's going to be a lot of DPS players. If anything, maybe tank on a select map. But otherwise,
Right.
yeah, they have such a wide lineup. It's going to be hard to gauge what they're going to be playing now.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think depth is never a bad thing, because it just like it's really hard to pin you down. Oh, they do such and such and such with this person. You ban that, they pick somebody else, put them in, and just throw you in for a loop. I mean, I guess best example would be is like I typically don't put myself in, but like I'm trying to avoid doing that more and more now, just because I don't want to play. I'm here for coaching. But yesterday, Queen got banned, and we were 100% going to play Queen Comp again. And I said, fuck it, put me in. I'll just play ball.
Yeah.
And like it's like where it's just like trying to be like having that depth and having that availability to like jump from one comp to the next, just like really, really helps a lot, and you can't get pinned down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. So covering those roster swaps, I think a good thing to do, and I mean, I could pull it up here, but I have it memorized. You know, we have the top 8 essentially finalized. The 6th, 7th, and 8th seed are locked. The 1, 2, and 3 seed, I'm pretty sure, is locked. It's that 4, 5. Actually, it's that 4, 5, and 3 that is kind of up in the air depending on how these games go tonight. Like, say, an Emmy Abyssal upset. Before we get to there, though, before we review these top 8 teams, I want to talk about the final regular season game of the season. It's going to be Cuddle Puddle versus Abyssal. Without me saying anything and giving my opinion, we can start with Cloud here. Who do you think comes out on top, and you know why? I guess.
You know, I think these are really great teams. I've actually been a pretty strong supporter of Abyssal through the season. I see their individual, you know, skill and their skills in communication. I really enjoyed watching Mod and Eva's POV and stream for their team, because their comms are impressive. But ultimately, Cuddle Puddle, they just have such insane players in their tank, as well as Geo. He is just insane. I think Cuddle Puddle's gonna take it.
Perfect. What do you think, Coach Tool?
So for personal bias reasons, I do think Cuddle will win. I will say that much. I want Abyssal to at least win a map. I think they can win a map or two, and that's all I need them to do, because that secures Death Blossom 3rd seed if they just win one map, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
I just need a
Fair
map.
enough.
That's all I need.
He just needs a nap. Well, while you two lamos are going for the clear-cut victor here, I am going to definitely not pred an upset. I for sure see Cuddle coming out on top as well. I think, and again, this goes back to what Cloud was saying, the tempo thing. I think Me Abyssal is a really talented team, and the potential is there. But I just think when it comes to like raw tempo, like who's gonna play faster, who's gonna make the clutch plays quicker, like the quicker decisions, I gotta trust Brooke and Geo, bro. Those two are insane together. I'm not gonna hold you. So I'm gonna take Cuddle. Probably like, honestly, if it is a 3-0, I think it's gonna be a close 3-0. I'd be surprised if it doesn't go to 4 maps. Just considering the raw talent that Abyssal has, but yeah, I think Cuddle either 3-1 or like an insanely tight 3-0, maybe.
Yeah, I think a 3-1 too.
Yeah.
I'll take 3-1, that's fine.
If that were the case, our top teams would be Solar at 1, Lunar at 2, Death Blossoms at 3, Cuddle at 4, Me Abyssal at Jade Eagles at 5, Me Abyssal at 6, BGSU at 7, and Phantoms at 8. Before we go into like brackets and start fantasizing and start disagreeing with who's going to end up winning all of it at the end, I want to kind of talk about shortly, briefly, each team and like how like each of the top 8 teams, how far we think they can logistically make it, and like kind of our expectations. And we'll start with the 8th seed and move up. So we have Phantoms. I can start here. I mean, this is a team that Cloud and we've played 3 times. We played them once in Goats and then twice this season, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna hold you. It was a 3-0 every time. They have decent playmakers, but they kind of lack severely in that team play aspect. I think there is like slight upset potential if you sleep on them, but maybe that's like just a map or two, and the other team playing them kind of wakes up and realizes, oh shoot, we need to lock in so we can beat this team. I think they don't win a single game in the playoff bracket, if I'm being honest. They started 3-1. I think they finished 3-5. They didn't win a single game in the second half of the season. So this is a team that's definitely on the decline. I don't think their spirits are up at all, which is unfortunate. I like Mystic. I like Mystic a lot. So I think they get knocked out in the first round of losers bracket as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Mystics, so this hurts, but I actually disagree. I think that they may not have it all there mechanically, but they definitely have some great team aspects. But their biggest things are they're mechanically. I don't think they can compete with some of these top 4 teams, and it's going to be difficult with them unless they really strengthen their team aspect. And they've been kind of rotating through tanks, so it's super hard to do that. So
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna kind of be brutally honest with the bottom 4 of the top 8. So Phantoms, my first brutally honest take, and I kind of agree with the Vert. They'll be lucky to win 2 maps, probably the whole entire playoffs. So that's my straight and simple take. They're probably gonna get picked by you guys.
Who would
Solar.
the 2 maps be against?
Whoever they play in losers first round. I'm not sure who it would be technically, but I'm sure they'll play you guys first round, and I would be honestly shocked. Well, actually, I will say there is one mode I think they could beat you in. They can pull you over and push, baby. Take them to Runasapi, Phantoms. That's all I gotta say. I rest my case. Anyways, though, probably 2 maps maybe in losers round 1, and then that'd be what I would give them.
Fair enough. Well, moving on to the 7th seed, BGSU. This is a team that nobody, and I'm going to get on my high horse for a second, nobody listens to me on. They started like 1-3 or 0-4, and they finished 4-4 to make the bracket, and they had the exact same thing last season, and they ended up making this like crazy push in playoffs. They lost in the loser bracket, but like it was still crazy how far they ended up coming because of it. And I was saying, like, I know they're 0-3, I know they're 0-4, but they're going to turn it around. Trust me. And it was like, I don't know, this is a bottom team. And now they're the 7th seed. They finished, they won every single game, they ran the table. So, I think this is a team that if you don't take seriously, you'll get caught lacking. And I don't think they win the first game in the winners bracket. I do think they get knocked down to the losers, but I do think there's potential for them to win some games there if they just keep locking in and keep working hard. They like being underdogs. They've been in this situation a ton. Fatal Turtle's a really good tank. Kira Wolf's a very, very good captain and Moria player. So, I don't know. I think there's definitely some room for upset potential if you're a BGSU.
Yeah. This team has been a team for quite a while now. They have pretty much 1 to 2 play styles, and they've mastered these play styles. I remember the same situation happened end of season last season, season 14, and there were like top teams saying, "Oh, I think these guys are like smurfing or something, or they're going crazy." When in reality, they're just they just get better as the season gets along, and then they just crush it.
Yeah.
And it might be a little bit due to the patch metas, but ultimately, I mean, they haven't changed their playstyle much. They've changed a few support players and things like that, but their teamwork is just on par.
Okay.
Their coaching is phenomenal.
So you ready for my super? It's not even hot. It's a very accurate take. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready for who they beat in the second set? Okay, ready? Oops, all that vibes. Close game. Oops, all that vibes. Currently the 5th worst team in the league. Arguably, you could put them lower than that even because they almost lost. Or I think Wraiths was a forfeit. Tormenting Tentacles, worst team in the league, got a free win because of a forfeit. Wraiths, bottom tier in the league, bottom 5 team in the league. Not good. Emerald Eagles haven't won a fucking map yet. So I'm just saying, yes, they did their job. They handled who was in front of them. But let's be real. Space Train is the real best 8th team in the league. They got shafted by scheduling.
I think actually you're missing the big thing with Oops All Vibes when they played them was they had a completely different roster in that game. They had Strider on tank, and they had just 3 people that had never played on their team ever before, and it was a really strong lineup. If
Oops had that roster earlier, they might have made playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Actually,
my point still stands though. They played a bunch of nobody. I still think they played a bunch of nobody. So that's my take. They played a bunch of nobodies and squeaked it. Space Train, Ramtech, I trust. You would have been there. You should have been there. Unlucky.
Ramtech is a very good tank. I will sing that man's praises till the day I die. But moving on to the 6th seed, if things go how we think so, it'll be ME Abyssal. We've talked about just Abyssal. We've talked about them a lot today. I definitely think this is a team that has a lot of potential. I don't think they win Renner's round 1 against Lunar. I just don't think they pull that through. I think there's a chance that they could end up beating someone like a Jade or a Phantoms or a BGSU in that losers bracket. But unironically, I think BGSU could beat Abyssal if they played well enough. So I think Abyssal, I think maybe like a loser semis is maybe their peak. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. We'll definitely know more after their game against Cuddle Puddle tonight. But yeah, I mean, without seeing that game, we can all. I don't think they can compete necessarily with the top 4. So yeah, I agree. I think they beat all the other teams in losers, but the first matchup is going to be a toughie.
Honestly, I don't know. It's tough. We're talking about Abyssal, right? Yeah. I don't know. I think they probably win losers round 1, and then they immediately get beaten losers round 2. So that's just. It's kind of cut and dry, but I don't think they could beat any of the top 3 at all. I don't think they can. I guess we'll see tonight if they can beat Cuddle, because if they prove themselves tonight, who knows? Maybe I could consider them potentially fighting for the 4th best team, but I don't think they can. We'll see though. I think they lose round 1. Winners round 1 they lose, losers round 1 they win, losers round 2 they probably get 3-0'd by somebody. Is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, For sure.
I give them 3 maps in the playoffs.
Dang, that hurts. But going to the 5th seed, it's going to be Jade Eagles, and this is a team that, despite having some issues versus Space Train last night, is actually a team I think very highly of. I think at their peak, they could definitely take some maps off of the top 4, and I think they're a bit of a gatekeeper. I think logistically, they're going to be the last of the bottom 4 left in the losers bracket. And I think they could definitely give a team like Cuddle Puddle a good scare. Heck, even top 3 teams being Death Blossoms, Lunar, and Solar. Maybe they could even take a map. And if a few fights go their way, maybe even 2. But yeah, again, probably like a loser semis appearance. before they get beaten up by one of the by one of the top three teams who were mad that they got dropped off in the winners bracket. And they take their anger out on Jade.
They could have been top 4. They definitely could have, but they forfeited a game. A very, very winnable game. Jade Eagles.
Interesting. The bracket would have been a lot different
Yeah.
if Jade was top 4, I think.
Who'd they play that they forfeited?
I think another Eagles team. I
Oh,
can't remember.
oh yeah.
Let me
Okay, yeah,
let me take a look.
No, both Eagles teams are 0-8. I think it was Tormenting Tentacles.
No, because Tormenting Tentacles, I think their
Let me-
forfeit win was from Wraiths. Did they forfeit against Wraiths?
I don't think so.
There's
I
no
think they
score
did.
for Wraiths. There's no score for Wraiths, so maybe that's the one.
Yeah, so Jade Eagles was supposed to play Wraiths, and they forfeited against Wraiths.
Oh,
That would have been a great game. I remember oh, I'm really excited about this game. I can't wait to see it, and then it's just forfeit, and I was not happy. I really wanted to see that. But yep, it was against Wraiths.
Dang. Yeah, they could have been. They're what, 6-2? They could have been 7-1. Interesting.
Yeah, and with a 22 map win.
What an interesting bracket that would have been. Don't forfeit your games, kids.
Yes.
Make sure you grow up and play them.
Grow up and play them. Wow.
grow up and play them. Wild thing.
But what do you think about Jade Eagles, Coach Tool?
I don't know. Like, I guess what you said could be true. I think they could take a map off a top 4 team, and that's the best I'll give them. So far, out of the bottom 4, they're the best chance to take a map off a top 4 team.
Yeah,
That's what I could say about them.
think so.
I think that's their best is maybe 2 maps. I don't think they definitely don't beat a top 3 team. They could beat Cuddle. That'd be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I will say that's a good segue into our 4 seed, which would be Cuddle Puddle. And this is a team that kind of laid low in the first half of the season and just came alive in midseason, making a finals appearance. They had to beat so many good teams to do it. They had to get through. They had to get through Jade. They had to have that incredible Map 5 series win versus you guys to finally get to grand finals. Just to kind of get pooped on a little bit. I'm not going to hold you, but but I definitely think this is a team that, like, if given an opportunity and if given momentum, they will take it and they will run with it. So I am honestly, I don't know what expectations I have for Cuddle. I feel like they're a team that, quite honestly, could beat Death Blossoms, that could beat Lunar, could, maybe even force a map 5 against Solar if they play their cards right. They've got an incredible tank player, incredible DPS. They like laying low. As of late, I think there's a little more respect on their name just because they made the finals in midseason. So maybe they're liked a little more than they would like to be. But yeah, I definitely I think even potentially, and this is a hot take here, I think they can make the final 3. I think there's a scenario in this world where they get into a loser semis game and they play Death Blossoms, Lunar, or Solar. They end up winning that, and they play in the losers finals for a chance to go to grand finals. But I don't think they make that push. I think they beat one of the top 3 teams, and that puts them on notice. So the other remaining top 3 teams lock in and make sure they don't, are the next ones that lose. So
I got one question.
Okay.
To Mr. OKC.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you guys gonna win the rematch?
If we play them again, we will. And I don't want to put blame out there because I don't think we played good enough regardless. First map, the tank we had playing still, Garrett, aka Omega, his game lags really bad in Malga mirrors, so he is actually unplayable. That was on my part. I should have not had him play Malga. I forgot about that, Loki. And then our DPS, Deadeye, was having connection issues the whole entire series. And you can't go back and, actually, was it streamed? Maybe you can. I don't know if it'll be on his POV, but he lagged a little bit last fight of the game too, specifically on last map. And he would have blew up one of their supports and we would have started the fight up 1. So that kind of... I remember going back and watching that, and he's like, yeah, I could see the lag in the VOD review. And he
get these guys on LAN and they win 3-0.
it was tough. Like, so, and no hate to Garrett either, Omega. He just wasn't scrimming a lot with us, and so hence why I kind of didn't. He's not our starter no more. So that was like tough too. So I think our new current starting five, we probably 3-0 Cuddle.
Okay, I like the confidence.
So
What do you think, Cloud? What do you think about the potential for Cuddle?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's going to come really down to losers finals. I think they make it all the way, for sure, hands down. They make it to losers final.
wait, who do you think they beat then? Do you think they beat us?
Well, we'll get there. We're going to be talking about brackets. We'll get there.
Okay.
No, I think it's going to be down to you guys. That's what I
Oh,
think.
so you think they beat? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So you think it's going to be Cuddle,
We'll get
Death
there.
Blossoms, losers finals? We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Before we get there, let's talk about the number 3 team. That being Death Blossoms. Incredible game last night versus Lunar. Almost pulled off the reverse sweep. I'm going to be honest. This was a team I had high expectations for before the season even started. Just looking at the raw SR, because I knew nothing about you guys. All I could base it off was the SR, and I was like, I think this team's got a chance. And you guys have done really, really well in the games that, I mean, because look, there are some teams like Abyssal that do really well in the regular season, but then kind of crap the bed in the playoffs or in the big games where it matters to prove yourselves. And in the big games where it's mattered to prove you guys, you beat Abyssal. You barely lost to Cuddle Puddle. You almost reverse swept Lunar. So I feel like the proving yourself is there. You just got to get over the hump now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree with you fully, 100%.
So I think, and I've said this to my football team because I coach flag football. We had 2 games back to back where we lost very closely, and I said to them, one of these days these close games are going to swing in our favor. Next week we won 2 close games back to back. So I'm not saying that Death Blossoms is going to make the finals, but I'm saying Death Blossoms is going to make the finals.
I'll let Cloud.
There's a chance. There's always Lunar. We're solar.
I'll let Cloud speak on us first before I say anything about us.
I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. I think Vert pretty much covered every topic, and I agree with Vert. It's going to be, I mean, we all know the top 4, and I think there's it's pretty darn close in the top 4, but after top 4, it's difficult. Yeah, I mean, there's a cliff. So
there's a clip. I like how we totally used that wording. Thank you for stealing that from me.
No problem.
Anyways, so
You said you're welcome.
my opinion on Death Blossom. I do play every now and then. I'll dabble, put myself in whenever I feel like we're having an off day, and I won't be doing that in playoffs. So I told them that already, that they're on their own in the playoffs. They don't get to have the coach 2 ball just randomly come in and win a map for free, like I've done multiple times. So they're not getting that. With that being said, I humbly think that we match up the best against Lunar out of all the top 4 teams. I think we have the best chance to beat you guys. So I think as long as we can handle our business in the other 2 top 4 matchups, I think we give you guys a run for your money. I'm not going to say who wins or not because I'm going to let that one just happen and see what happens. But I will say I've told my team this consistently, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll say it with my chest so everybody knows in CGL. We are the best push team in the league. We start every series up 1-0 before the series even starts.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys you've lost maps before, but you've never lost a push map.
We will never lose a push map. That is a coach tool guarantee. We will not lose a push map.
All right, clip it, Chad.
Clip it. Someone clip it. But what I was gonna, I agree. Now that number 2 team, the team you guys fortunately lost to, fell short last night against Lunar Eclipse. This has been a very talented roster all season. I mean, Cloud, you and I both know how good Alex is. The Reese and Leo support line, I feel like they can play just about anything. The DPS line, I have some concerns about. Just because, yeah, Corgi, he played well last night. Corgi was someone who played for Solar before he joined Lunar. And he's good, but his availability isn't where they would want it to be. Not a use. Can we talk about not a use for a second? That kid, first, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I found him when I was creating a plat team for the org, and I threw them on there, and I watched him, and I said to myself, and I don't remember who I told, but I remember saying it so early on. I was like, if you get a good team around this kid, he's going to shine. And that's what he did last night. When their backs were against the wall in Gibraltar and Lunar needed a clutch play to win, 2K pulse bomb. 30 seconds left, you need another one, 2K pulse bomb.
Don't even remind me. I have 4 flashbacks about those. I
He's getting
rewatched the
PTSD.
VOD. And I literally wanted to throw my controller against the fucking wall right next to me.
Yeah, so that kid is just a bundle of talent, and he will take them far. But what concerns me about him is his hero pool. He's very easy to target ban. You get rid of the tracer, and he's essentially out of the game unless he pops off on Genji or something. And then there's their new hit scan Strider. I know Strider's peak because I've seen it. At best, he'll pop off and kill 4 people, but at worst, he kind of is eh. And so I have concerns about the DPS line. Maybe someone like Pickle, who's a little more consistent, who is really, really good. You put him and Not a Use together, who knows what they can do. You put him and Strider together, who knows what they can do. So I do have some question marks about the DPS line for Lunar. But the support line and the tank line, so consistent, so good. I think they can make finals and win it at their peak. So
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think the top 3 at their peak can all win, is my opinion.
yes.
And yes, I'm including Death Blossom, Lunar, and Solar. I respect you, Cuddle. I think you're worth respect, and I think you could beat one of us 3. I do think at everybody's best, there is a clear top 3, though, in my opinion. So I think any of one of those 3. So, like, to go into Lunar a little bit specifically, it just depends how much they can adapt and adjust with their new roster and go from there.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add on to that. I think you guys both said it pretty well. Lunar is a top team. I personally am very excited to see how these players coming from other teams play on a top 3 team now, and how they're gonna help them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now the last team, Solar, mid-season champs, undefeated in CGL currently across 3 different seasons. You have to think to yourself, if you're a Solar Eclipse fan or if you're a Solar Eclipse player, when is this win streak gonna win or end? But
I can tell you right now. You want me to tell you when it's gonna end?
Tell us.
Is it gonna be grand finals?
It's gonna end in winners finals. Finals.
Ooh.
Like I said earlier, you all automatically start that series down 1-0. So that's just a given.
So we'll have to win 3-1 then.
Yeah, if you're gonna win, it's gotta be quickly, because you better win. If you don't win early and often in that series, it's over for you. That's all.
You're gonna say you're so tired of winning. Please stop winning.
Nah, I'm gonna slide Bert $20 and Garrett. No, I do think we are the best matchup for you guys, and I've said that from the beginning, and I'll continue said that. We warmed up screen you 1 time. Every map was like really close.
Yeah.
We literally forced you to play something I haven't seen you play much of, and I think your push is abyssal level push. So
dang.
I think we slam you on push. You saw the push against Lunar, correct? I just want to make sure.
It's crazy you say that, because for the longest time we thought one of the push maps was our best map, and I still think that, actually. But
yeah, I have a specific way I coach teams on push. I'm not going to give any deets, but we're very good at push.
Okay. Yeah, no, obviously Solar, really good team, really balanced across the board. They got me, Xerneas, support line, Synarchy, really great Ana player. Fun fact, I actually played less maps in the end of season finals than Synarchy because we needed the Ana to win the game. And so love having him. He's also a lot more flexible than just Ana, but that's just kind of how we use him. Laura, or sorry, oh my god, everyone knows her name at this point. Locos. Very,
Jesus.
very great, very great. I've already leaked her once on CGL Live.
Mhm.
It was terrible. We all call her by her name, but anyway, very great Mercy player. Really enhances us a lot. Hollander Rev, best DPS line in all CGL. You can clip that. Cloud, Tippy, great tank duo. And Jokey's also really great. Sad that we don't have him for the end of season playoffs, but
Is he not playing in the playoffs?
He's taking a little bit of a hiatus, but Tippy will still beat you anyway. It's fine.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say you were gonna beat us, and I just lost for a second. No, I do respect you guys a lot. As much shit I talk to you guys, I fully think our series would be a long one for sure. I really hope we get to play you in grand finals,
Make it go to
because
7.
I think that forces you to have to beat us not only once on push, but twice potentially, if how long the series goes.
Yeah.
So I think
You know what? Body
I
bags.
I just
Lots
think
of
we're
cash.
too good at. I think we're too good at push. I genuinely think that game mode flips the series on its head real fast, and it's done it multiple times. If you watched our series that we've lost, is that we'll go to push, we win the push, and we're back in it.
All right, listen. We won push in last season mid-season playoffs. The last map was push. We won push in the end of season playoffs, the championship game. We won push in the mid-season playoffs again.
So
come on, dude. And I was 0 deaths.
Let's see. So you lost push to Diamond Eagles. You lost push to all that vibe.
Did I play those? Did I play those?
No offense to
Wait,
Pickle
Coach,
team,
did I play those?
It doesn't matter if you
Okay.
play those,
Okay.
buddy. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Whatever.
It does not matter
All right.
if you play those.
All right.
I promise you guys are not good at push. All right, let's get into the bracket because we could talk about this much later. We would go at it all day if we sat here talking about our matchup. So
Okay. Let me pull up the bracket real quick.
I made Vert mad. He doesn't want to talk no more. Wait, Vert, you there? Uh-oh. We lost Vert, Cloud.
1 second. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll start off the conversation while we wait for Vert to exist again. So I'm pretty positive you guys are probably gonna pick Phantoms. Am I correct with saying that? Pretty safe bet.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are oh, there he is. He's back.
You can call that NA prod. I'm back.
Okay, cool. We were just about to get into the bracket, and I was talking about how you guys are probably gonna pick Phantoms. If my guess is correct.
Yes. Let's get into this bracket. Yeah, I think we're picking Phantoms. Pretty sure.
Okay. So
We'll
my
leak it.
prediction
We'll leak it.
is 3-0 Slammage.
Actually, before we pick the actual games, because Cloud's got a bracket up here, why don't we just go through the actual matchups? So I think Solar picks Phantoms. Lunar's picking Emmy Abyssal. They've been public about that. And if they haven't been public about that, I'm leaking it. You can clip it here.
You can go here.
So, yeah, Solar versus Phantoms, and then Lunar versus Abyssal.
Okay.
And then I think you guys would have...
I would
have
probably
between BGSU and Jade. You'd probably pick BGSU.
Yeah, I'd pick BGSU just to guarantee, just just because Jade could be annoying, so probably just BGSU. I mean, the whole team still has the same sentiment I made earlier about BGSU. So
Lunar is the 2nd seed, Mr. Cloud, which would be at the bottom of the bracket because they're on opposite sides.
I'll fix it.
Yep.
1 second.
No, you're good. No worries.
So then it would be Jade Eagles versus Emmy Abyssal. So once we have this, I think that's a good game.
I think so too.
We can talk about these individual matchups here in a second while we're setting up this. While we're setting up this bracket. If you're new to this channel, make sure to like. No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go into this tangent. We post podcasts like this every week. You can clip that too.
Yeah, we totally do.
It's not like we disappeared for 4 weeks and came back.
I mean, that's pretty well known. We had like a set plan of what we were gonna do. So
True.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm
I love-
excited. We can talk about real quick while he's setting this up about the picking stream. Supposedly, people trash talk in that, so I'll be there.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Yes, it's
Who's
gonna be
gonna
very
be there
funny.
for you guys?
I think I sent reverts for us last season to pick Infinity, and he was very, 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 very chill. I think it'll probably either be Hollander or me this time.
You should be there. I want you to be there.
We'll see. We'll see. I think it's gonna be funny, because I tossed around this idea of like spinning a wheel live on stream.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I shut that down. I'm sorry. That's just not happening.
Broke our dreams. Broke our dreams. Come on.
I think it's funnier if people actually pick, just in case some wild shit happens. And for
Well,
example,
just imagine.
Go ahead.
Imagine the level of disrespect. Like, not this. The wheel would only be the bottom 4 teams in the top 8, because I
know.
can't pick from anyone else. So, like, imagine the disrespect where it's like, we think we can beat any of these teams, so we couldn't decide. So we're gonna spin a wheel.
No, that's fair. I mean, if you guys want to do that for yours personally, I'm open to it. You have fun.
No, we're probably gonna pick Phantoms. I'm sorry, Mystic. I love you.
Yeah, we're definitely. I mean, if BGSU's on the table between them and Jade, I'll just pick BGSU. So
What if we threw this entire bracket off and picked BGSU?
have
We
fun
actually
with
wouldn't
that.
be
I'll take Phantoms, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it's not like it makes much of a difference. Like, if
Yeah,
we're being real,
Lunar-
does that make a difference? No.
Yeah, Lunar picking Emmy Abyssal low key makes y'all picking a lot easier for you.
I mean, I would have picked Abyssal anyways. Then, so
Oh, word.
yeah.
Word. All right,
Word.
so let's go ahead and talk about these briefly and get out of here so we're not egging it on too long. We got Solar Eclipse versus Phantoms, Jade Eagles versus Cuddle, Death Blossoms versus BGSU, and Emmy Abyssal versus Lunar Eclipse. So who do we? I feel like we all agree unanimously. Solar in 3 versus Phantoms.
Yeah, that's gonna be a solar.
I don't know. Yeah, no.
I could see an upset.
I don't think you guys mess around at all in playoffs, so I would imagine hard 3-0 real quick. So
Yeah. I'm gonna be making my tank debut versus Phantoms, so watch out.
shut the fuck up. Okay.
All right, so then we got Jade Eagles versus Cuddle. I feel like this could be a close game, but
Match of the
This is gonna be a great game to watch, but I think
Match
Cuddle's
of the
gonna
first
get
round, I think.
yeah, I think Cuddle gets it in 5, maybe 4.
I think 3-1 Cuddle.
Yeah, I agree.
it. I think it'll be a 3-0,
So then-
but it's gonna be fun to watch.
Then it's gonna be Death Blossoms versus BGSU. I think this is pretty clear here. I think Death Blossom in 3,
BGS
maybe 4, maybe
BGS
4. That's funny. That's funny.
That's
got
what
jokes.
that's what my teammates came up with like a long time ago when we first played them was BGS who. So
BGS
3-0 Death Blossom BGS who?
I hope they're listening to
BGS.
this. Now they're gonna just level up for facing you guys.
I hope they do. I want the smoke. I made
Bro
that
said I
pretty
want-
clear that I'm open to all smoke. So
Bro says I'm here to inspire people.
what kind of coach would I be if I wasn't inspiring people?
True. And then it's gonna be Lunar Eclipse versus Abyssal. Yeah, he already printed it out. It's gonna be
He grabbed it before he made our prediction. Come on.
I
Yeah,
think
no, just
there's
kidding,
potential
3-0.
it could be a fun game, but it's gonna be a 3-1 or a 3-0.
If Lunar
Yeah.
wants to be considered the second best team, they better come out and beat the shit out of them. That's all I gotta say.
Word. Okay, so
Word.
then we have our losers bracket, which is gonna be the losers will
Oh.
be Abyssal, Death Blossoms. Yeah, NA Prod.
That's
Prod.
fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. Let's just play.
Well, let's finish this winners bracket real quick.
Yeah,
So
we can do winners bracket. That's fine.
for the winners, we're gonna have Solar, Cuddle, Death Blossoms, Lunar. Two.
Solar 3-0.
You think? Okay.
I think y'all slam Cuddle. I think Cuddle has zero fuck all chance against you guys.
I think
Word?
our play style specifically,
Dominates Cuddle. I agree.
yeah.
Cloud is a problem for them. I already know that for a fact.
Yeah. All right. So Solar in 3. I think maybe 4. Just because Cuddle's got really good mechanics and teamwork. But yeah, I think 3's fine. We've already done it once. We can do it again. But as for Lunar and Death Blossoms, this is gonna be such a fun.
All right.
I'll let you all go first. I'll let you all go first.
We'll have to do a vote, but I think it's going to be Vert and I voting for Lunar.
Yeah, this is gonna be such a fun game to watch. I truly. I don't know, man, because like it's hard to beat the same team twice. You know what I mean? And so I think definitely Death Blossoms has that going for them. I need to see how Lunar plays versus Emmy Abyssal with their new DPS line first, but I gotta back the sister team. I'm gonna have to say Lunar in 5, but I truly, in my heart of hearts, feel like this could go either way. It just y'all match up so well against each other.
I completely agree. It was a really, really fun game to watch, and it's going to be another banger when it gets there again.
Can I cast this game? I hope we stream it.
I hope
3-1.
so too. It better be streamed.
3-1.
Otherwise, we'll
3-1.
3-1.
I think they beat you on push.
They beat us on push. I will like. I'm sorry. Like, if another team that we haven't played on push yet, maybe sure. But we literally just embarrassed them on push. Like we finished the map in 4 minutes. Like, come on now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's bad. All right, yeah, but get
3-1.
Death Blossoms out of here. It's gonna be Lunar.
That's
I'm
fine.
kidding.
That's fine.
I'm
That's fine.
kidding.
No, you're not kidding. That's okay. That's what you think, and it's okay.
So then we're gonna have Solar versus Lunar in the winter finals.
3-1.
3-1. He said that
Yeah.
so quick.
You
Yeah.
guys 3-1 quite easily.
Man, I think probably 3-2. I think Lunar adjusts from the loss from midseason semis.
Actually, I lied. 3-2. They'll beat you on push.
Yeah.
I'm actually changing this up, and I'm going Lunar 3-2 or 4-2.
Shut the fuck up. You're not betting against yourself. Stop being so humble.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Solar 3-2 or 3-1. I have reasons why. I think they will learn and adjust from the losses. They've got incredible coaches in Suzuka and Coach Ghost, but we also got really good coaches. And if some of these teams knew what we did at what level we scrimmed at, and what we did behind the scenes, I think they'd understand why we win so much. Because I said it in an interview. I don't think a lot of teams understand the things that we do in preparation for people. So I just don't. Yeah, I think there's just levels to it. And unfortunately, I think there's levels here as well. But I think it's going to be even closer than the mid-season semis were. I think it's going to be Solar 3-2 advancing to the finals. But yeah, I mean that's just
that Strider versus Rev in the grand finals. Oh my gosh.
this is going to
Again.
feed families.
Yeah. No kidding.
Feed families. Especially because Strider is on arguably a better roster. So who knows? Who knows what he can do? But we can talk about the losers. So I can actually tell you guys. So there'd be no reseeding. It would be Phantoms versus the highest remaining seed, which would be Me Abyssal. So Phantoms versus Me Abyssal.
3-1 Abyss or 3-1 Abyssal, yeah.
Yeah. And then it would be BGSU versus Jade for the first set of losers.
Jade 3-2.
Bit of a hot take there, but I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be rude, but I kind of don't think it matters.
Fair enough. But
Like, it doesn't matter until we get back to the top 4 again.
We still got to talk about it anyway. So we got Jade. So I agree. Jade probably beats BGSU, and Emmy Abyssal beats Phantoms. So then it would be Cuddle Puddle at the 4 seed taking on Emmy Abyssal, and then it would be Jade Eagles taking on Death Blossoms hypothetically. I think Death Blossoms wins that 3-1. Any disagreements on that? 3-1, 3-0.
I'm okay with 3-1,
Yeah.
honestly. That's
I'm
fine.
okay with
Yeah.
3-1
I'll
as
give
well.
him a map. I'll give him a map.
I
I'll be
think Cuddle Puddle probably beats Emmy Abyssal 3-0.
I guess we'll see tonight, huh?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that'll tell us a lot. But currently, I think they beat them 3-0.
Upset. 3-2 Abyssal. I'm not even joking. Dead serious. We're going to have at least one upset.
Okay.
Like outside of the top 4 beating each other. And that's my one. So, there's my hot take of the bracket outside of top 4.
Why did my GG? Why do I keep dying?
I
Can
don't
y'all
know.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
But
Yeah.
your voice is a little
Anyway,
laggy.
I think LOL. I think Death Blossoms beats Cuddle Puddle 3-2. I think.
3-1.
So, okay. But then the losers finals would be Lunar versus Death Blossoms.
They're not beating us 3 times if y'all have them beating us twice. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, but it's hard to beat the same team twice. It's even harder to beat the same team 3 times. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna have a say in this because I foresee people in my DMs.
I'm not afraid of DMs. I'm not afraid of anything.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I think we beat them 3-1. Like I said, I think I'm gonna have. I know they didn't technically have like who they would really play with, and I mean this honestly. I think you would kind of agree with me, Cloud, a little bit because you did say something about that honeymoon thing earlier where you kind of agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it was like a soft honeymoon because it wasn't really who they would really play with, but I do think having kind of unknowns and not really knowing what you're going to be going against is a lot better. So the fact that they had more info basically was probably better for them last night, and it helped a little bit. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I think once we know more about what they're going to be doing, which we'll be able to because we'll be able to see their first round playoff matchup, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I think these 2 teams are so close. Here's what I'm gonna do, ladies and gents. We're gonna flip a coin. Best 2 out of 3. That's what we're about to do here. Flip a coin. We'll say since Lunar's the higher seed, they're heads, and Death Blossoms is tails. I would share my screen, but it doesn't matter. All right, here's the first flip.
That's fair. It doesn't matter. I trust you.
It's gonna be tails. So Death Blossoms wins the first time, or the Death Blossoms, So best 2 out of 3 though. Flip it again. It's tails again. So there we go. Reese, don't get mad at me. My justification is I flipped a coin. Death Blossoms in 5.
I will say I do respect them a lot. I respect both Eclipse teams a ton. So
You think it's going to be easier with Alex?
yes.
Whoa!
That was
a
my
hot
question.
take.
I had a feeling that you were going to say yes, and why?
Because you know more about him.
I know more.
Okay.
Strictly, I am a good coach. I know how to game plan.
Mm-hmm.
We will beat them with Alex.
I like it.
Man, but if they put in perf, y'all are cooked. Lunar in 5!
I love it. No, but honestly, I think we play better with them having their actual roster. So
We'll see.
Okay.
I just think both teams are close. That's why I flipped a coin. I think
fair.
Logistically, you could say Solar Death Blossoms. You could say Solar Lunar. You could say Lunar Death Blossoms if the bracket flipped a certain way. So, obviously I think Solar's going to end up winning the whole thing. Because I'm a player on Solar. I know what we do. I know how we prep. I love the
Alrighty.
team. But
I'm gonna tell you
that's
now,
just
grand finals, us against you guys. I'm going 4-3 us.
4-3.
Yep,
What's going on 7?
we win 2 pushes, 2 controls.
Well,
hot
fair enough.
take. Actually, we win 2 pushes and we beat you on your best map.
I have a hot take, and this is nothing. I don't have any analytics to back this up. This is just a feeling. What I'll say is if Death Blossoms makes the finals versus Solar, that finals is closer than Solar Lunar.
I agree. I think
I
we're
don't
the
know.
best matchup for you guys. I personally think we match up best against you guys. Maybe not against everybody else, but I know for a fact we give you the best run for your money. I don't think anybody else has a chance to beat you in a best of 7 except for us.
Well, I
Surely,
guess we'll find out, Chad.
because I know we have a guaranteed game vote against. So
Yeah.
well, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I am excited as
There's a
well.
lot of
It's
clippable
gonna be
moments
good.
in here. We're gonna add them to the voice emojis in our server, for
Um,
sure.
One
do
final
it. Do
fun
it. I hope
thing.
everybody clips everything I said. I'm
Yeah,
fine
me
with
too.
it.
Me too.
I'm fine with it. Dude, this is why you guys have me in here. So I'm like the Stephen A. Smith over here. Okay, I'm here for all of the hot takes.
And
I love it. I love
I'm
it.
Shannon, and I am Shannon Sharp. Trash bags,
Exactly.
candy sacks, money cash, lunar and
Solar
five.
at 5.
But before we sound off on this bracket, Roll Stars Awards. I don't know if you know what that is, Coach Tool, but we do Roll
I
Star
understand
Awards in
what they are.
CGL.
Yeah.
So there's going to be one for DPS, Support, Tank, MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Manager of the Year. So I'm just going to quickly go through who I think. Also, you cannot say people on your team for obvious reasons. I think DPS Roll Star probably either needs to go to Naughty or Ares. Looking at stats and analytics, very, very good players. I'd probably have to give it to someone who finishes the playoff bracket since Ares isn't here, so maybe Naughty. But I also don't want to vote for either Eclipse team, to be honest, just because I think that comes off really biased. So if it's not Naughty, I'd probably say either Deadeye or Geo. I think those guys are really good. Support-wise, man, there's a lot of good supports. Probably, if I'm not, if it's not, it should be Xerneas. Xerneas got robbed last year, and I'll stand by that. Maybe not robbed, but not enough people knew who he was. But maybe Motiva for me, Abyssal, very good support player. Battle Josh for Rye is also a really good support as well. Wasabi was great last night. Tank, probably Brooke. I think really highly of Brooke. I like Brooke a lot. I think Brooke has done some great things for his team. Let me see. MVP.
Wait, you
Probably-
didn't do Tank yet though, right? Or did you?
Yeah, he
I
just
did
said
Tank.
Brooke.
Brooke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Um,
stupid. I thought I didn't hear my name.
I think MVP unironically needs to go to Nax, and the reason I say that is because of how many roles he's played for you guys
Yep, he
and
is
how
now
much
our
of an
tank, so-
impact. Yeah, he's gone from flex support to hit scan to tank, and he's done great on all three. So I think he deserves MVP, especially because y'all look like a kind of a different team when he's not in. He's kind of like he's got the Nikola Jokic effect.
I laugh at that because it kind of makes sense. I kind of fuck with that.
So
I like that. I like that take.
But as for Rookie of the Year, you could make an argument that the entire Death Blossoms roster or Cuddle Puddle roster is Rookie of the Year because they've never played in this league before. I have to go with probably... Man, who's done well rookie-wise? I'll pick someone from Cuddle, so I'm not seeming biased. Probably Geo. Yeah, Geo. I can't say enough good things about Geo. Coach of the Year, Coach Tool. My personal Coach of the Year is Coach David, but I can't vote for him. So either Coach Tool or Suzuka from Lunar. Very good.
Technically, I'm not listed as a
well.
coach on the roster, so I don't even know if I'm actually eligible for the reward, anyways. So
Well, GG's.
GG's.
So probably
I don't
Suzuka
believe
then.
so. Yeah.
yeah.
As-
GG's.
As for Manager of the Year, I'm gonna go. Probably who have I had the easiest time scheduling with? That's how I'm gonna vote.
Valid. Valid.
Probably. It's definitely not Cuddle Puddle. If you know, you know.
I don't know, so that's okay. Though.
I'm gonna say, man, any other Eagles teams, very easy guys to schedule with. Any of them.
That's fair. I'll
But,
let you go first, Cloud, before I go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not biased at all, so it's good that we're not voting Solar, but I'm voting Lunar everything.
That's fair.
For every
No, it's
award.
okay if you do that. That's fair.
For hit scan though, I'm not. Strider hasn't been playing most of the season, so I probably wouldn't vote for Lunar hit scan. I don't know for hit scan. I'm trying to think of other hit scans.
Probably Deadeye.
Deadeye
He
is a
doesn't
flex
play hit
support.
scan. Yeah, he's flex.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, but he plays some hit scan.
It's Jay. Jay's our hit scan player.
Oh, that's Jay.
Yeah.
That's Jay.
Yeah, maybe Jay or Endoryu, but yeah.
Jay's the young prodigy,
Or
as I like to call him.
Yeah, I would vote Eris. It's just he's not finishing the season, But
Yeah.
he is a crazy player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But as you said, you're doing Luna for the rest, so I assume like either Reese or Leo for support.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would probably vote Reese and not a use for flex and Alex for tank for sure.
Word. All right. Well, what about you, Coach Tool?
Let's see. See, my issue is you guys sub this man out a lot. Mr. Cloud probably deserves best tank. He gets subbed out way too fucking much though, because I know it's because of reasons, and I get it.
Peep
So
in the
if
season
I wasn't-
playoffs.
If I
He's gonna play every
wasn't,
single map.
he probably will. I'll just go Cloud, just because I think he is the best. Like, he's probably, if I played every game, I would probably give him a run for his money, but I don't. I'm not here for that. So I'd give it to Cloud.
Appreciate you.
Oh, of course, dude. You're really good. Like, obviously, I'm not going to ever poach any of you guys because there's no point in even me doing that. I would rather have competition. But if I could have another team to support it, it'd be you guys. So I think Cloud, easily best tank in the league. No doubt. I think he's very flexible. Best DPS in general. Low key, if I'm not going for one of my care players, I'd probably just give it to Reverts. This dude has consistently put highlight reels on other teams, so it's gotta be Reverts. And like, I might sound biased a little bit, but like, I just kind of gonna keep picking. Actually, for support, my favorite support player is probably Reese. I'd say is the best support in the league. So that's who my three are. And then MVP. You can give it to Vert. Why not? Here you go, Vert.
Whoa! I do not deserve MVP. GG's. I give it to Holland.
Already voted.
It's already voted. It's like Actually, I'd probably give it to Cloud, honestly, just because like I think he literally. I don't know. I've watched maps and he just like suffocates everybody by himself, and it's fun.
Yeah, it just takes over. I will say this now, and I'm going to say this on a live broadcast because I will be representing Xerneas as a client. This man got snubbed of Rollstar support voting last season because not enough people. If you look at every single stat category, he leads in every single one that matters to supports. So make sure you vote Xerneas Roll Support Star if you're not on Solar or Lunar.
Stack check.
That's all I have to say.
Xerneas 5,600 healing per 10. Is that accurate?
And where is he at?
That's number 4. So right above Rye. Whacking is apparently number. I feel like healing is kind of misleading though, because if your team just takes a lot of damage, you're gonna be higher up anyways. Wait, so Kira.
So why am I not up there, huh? Because I suck. That's why.
No, it's because your team
you're
doesn't
playing
take
Lucio.
You want to know who the highest?
You can't measure speed.
Damage taken stat. Let's see. Yeah, fucking. Cloud's not even in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I should be in the top 10 least stats.
Yeah, you're not even in the top 10 damage taken, so Cloud just doesn't take damage. For me, though, I'm in the top 4. You know what it is. I take damage. I control my space I want to control regardless of the damage coming out on me. So that's why my supports heal a little bit more. And then, let's see deaths. Deaths for 10. You said you should be top. You're second.
I'm second?
No, Cloud.
Oh. I was gonna say, I die a lot. I feed.
I was about to say, you're definitely like bottom of the list, bud. Actually, unironically, JML's deaths per 10 is literally 1.8 as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. We gotta kill him more.
Wait, who else is on here? Is Pack Attack a tank as well, or is he?
Yeah, he is. He's Phantom's
so
tank,
and then is
Their
Diaboluni? Is Diaboluni a tank or
Diablo only is not?
Okay, so there's another squishy that's a little better than him at not dying.
What team are they on? I think they're on Abyssal. Yep, they're on Abyssal.
Interesting. Okay.
I believe support.
But that's in 3 games versus only 5 games recorded. These stats are kind of hard to fucking look at because like these maps played is Also, like some matches don't actually get through on it.
Oh, you know what? They might play tank for Abyssal. I think Zachary K. They have another. I think they go by that account. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it
Okay,
is
so
their
yeah,
tank.
so the leaf steps by a squishy is Jay.
Anyway,
pretty impressive.
Zerny is Rollstar MVP for flex support. But I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Regardless, it's been an incredible season. I have loved doing these community things with you guys. Running the community streams. It's been a really fun season, and we still got a lot of season left to go. A lot of people don't know this, but the end of season playoffs lasts about 3 to 4 weeks. So it's going to be a long playoff bracket. A lot of things are going to change. So I'm excited to see it, regardless of who wins or loses. In my opinion, the only two teams I'd be okay even remotely losing to would be Death Blossoms and Lunar. More so Lunar than Death Blossoms. We shouldn't lose to Death Blossoms. They're chumps.
Oh, okay. The only
but
team I'm okay losing to no one. So
lose never. But this is a live development breaking news. I have been told that we are in fact live streaming the Cuddle Puddle Me Abyssal game tonight on CGL 1. And I will be casting it there. So you can catch more of this beautiful voice and more NA prod on the CGL live stream later today. But thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you both.
Yep, thank you.
Everything we do today is either going to age incredibly after Cuddle Puddle 3-0s, or it's going to age horribly after Me Abyssal comes through with the upset. So who knows?
Abyssal, let's go. Yay. And then I'm picking Cuddle first round. Fuck it. No, I'm just joking.
That'd be funny.
That would be a little bit funny.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining, watching, tuning in. And we'll see you on the flip side of this season.